The financial industry is built on a lie of universal accessibility. According to the Federal Reserve, the median household will never reach $500,000. While mainstream media sells a narrative of steady milestones, the 2022 survey of consumer finances reveals a terrifying divergence between participation and actual wealth accrual. The median age to hit $100,000 is 37. However, the top decile, the financial elite, reaches this baseline before the age of 25. This 12-year head start isn't just a gap. It is a structural barrier that compounding laws transform into an insurmountable wall for the median worker. By age 30, the top 10% have already crossed 500,000. Meanwhile, the median population peaks at 400,000 in their 60s. We are witnessing the birth of a wealth caste system, where tenure no longer guarantees security. Retail investors are systematically gaslit by an outdated roadmap. Financial advisors push the traditional 60-40 portfolio, yet in 2022, this strategy suffered a 30% maximum drawdown, failing its primary defensive purpose entirely. The illusion of safety in active mutual funds is shattered by institutional-grade data. Average active fees of 1% destroy 25% of terminal wealth. Compounding is a neutral law of nature, but intermediation friction, the hidden leakage of bid-ask spreads and cash drag, acts as a continuous tax on potential. Furthermore, the systemic inflation tax is an invisible thief. A 3% inflation rate halves the purchasing power of your first million within 20 years. Worse still, capital gains taxes are levied on nominal increases, meaning you pay the government for the privilege of watching your real wealth evaporate silently. The shift from a zero-interest rate environment to higher for longer has ended the TINA era. Equities are no longer the only game for capital allocation strategies. This regime shift raises the hurdle rate for wealth accumulation. Your risk assets must now outperform a high risk-free rate plus the structural inflationary drag. Deglobalization and the energy transition are reallocating $4 trillion annually. This capital isn't boosting corporate margins. It is funding domestic industrial resilience and capex. The math is cold. If your accrual velocity does not exceed these structural frictions, you aren't building a portfolio, you are merely financing the system's decay. Most people are playing a game designed for a world that no longer exists. They follow the median path, which leads mathematically to a ceiling. The data provides a reality check. The top decile reaches $1 million 25 years faster than the 75th percentile. This is not a race. It is an execution gap. Technology adapters and STEM professionals are utilizing corporate equity and RSUs to bypass decades of standard capital accumulation paths entirely. Consider a top-tier STEM professional earning $250,000. By age 35, their median net worth is already $285,000. Compare this to the national median of $39,000 for the same age group. This isn't a difference of effort, it is a difference of mechanics. The professional is leveraging tax-advantaged accounts and aggressive equity vesting, while the median household is trapped in a cycle of high-interest debt and inflation. If we calculate the terminal value deficit of a 1% fee differential over 30 years, the math is devastating. You lose $250,000. This friction point is where most investors fail. They focus on picking winners while their foundation is eroded by transaction taxes and tax-inefficient rebalancing strategies. When your nominal gains are taxed, but your real purchasing power is negative, you have entered the terminal phase of the traditional retail investor trap. The wealth caste gap is widening because the median path is no longer viable. To cross the $1 million threshold, one must adopt institutional-grade mechanical rigor. We must deconstruct the standard portfolio and expose the NAV erosion that retail influencers ignore. The math doesn't care about your philosophy or your beliefs. The question is no longer when you will hit these milestones, but whether the system will allow you to keep what you have supposedly earned. To understand the milestone gap, we must analyze the structural mechanics of capital velocity. The median worker relies on wage-based accumulation, which is inherently linear. In contrast, the top decile, specifically technology professional adapters, utilizes restricted stock units. RSUs aren't just compensation, they are high-beta equity vehicles that bypass traditional vesting. This creates an immediate divergence in the survey of consumer finances data. By age 25, top-decile net worth already sits at $286,000. This isn't savings, it's the result of corporate balance sheet expansion manifesting as equity value. High-margin tech firms use shareholders to subsidize professional-class wealth. For the median, the hurdle isn't effort, it's intermediation friction. Market makers extract value through the bid-ask spread, a silent tax on every trade executed. This is the primary driver of NAV erosion. While you wait for orders to execute, institutional algorithms have already reallocated billions into high-yield paper. We must monitor global liquidity trends and the Baltic Dry Index. These tell the real story of why wealth velocity is stalling for the median. The higher-for-longer interest rate regime has effectively raised the hurdle rate. Capital is moving from growth equities into the resilience of high-yield fixed-income instruments. This shift forces a reallocation of $4.5 trillion into green capital. This isn't productive growth, it is an expensive transition of assets. We are moving from speculative mindset coaching to the cold math of wealth. If your growth does not exceed systemic friction, your portfolio is decaying. Now, let's pivot to the mathematical matrix. Here, we decompose the reality of nominal versus real growth using the Federal Reserve's own authoritative baseline metrics. Proof number 1. Consider a $1 million portfolio. At a 3% sustained inflation rate, your real purchasing power drops to $553,000. However, the Internal Revenue Service levies capital gains taxes on only the nominal increase. You are paying 15% on gains that don't actually exist. If your nominal wealth increases by 3% but inflation is 3%, your real return is 0. Yet, the government still takes its cut. This creates a negative real return after tax. Your wealth isn't just stagnating, it is being actively liquidated by the intersection of tax policy and inflation. This asymmetry is the terminal trap for retail investors. They see a rising account balance while their ability to purchase actual goods and services collapses. Proof number 2. Let's analyze the terminal value deficit caused by expense ratios. An institutional index ETF costs 0.05% in annual management. Your average active mutual fund charges 1.08%. This 1% differential seems negligible to the untrained eye over a single year. But compounding this difference over a 30-year horizon yields a devastating result. A 1% fee leakage reduces your terminal wealth by 25%. On a $1 million target, that is $250,000 lost to administrative overhead. You are funding the advisor's lifestyle, not your retirement. Factoring in portfolio variance adds another layer of risk. A standard 60-40 portfolio was sold as a safety net, yet failed spectacularly in 2022. That strategy experienced a 30% maximum drawdown. At the same time, inflation spiked, creating a double-digit loss in real purchasing power across all assets. This variance is often undercalculated. Retail portfolios typically have an annualized standard deviation of 15%, leaving them vulnerable to any sudden macro regime shift. Contrast this with top-decile accumulation velocity. The top 10% hit the $1 million milestone 25 years faster than the 75th percentile of the population. This speed isn't about stock picking. It is about the optimization of tax alpha and the total elimination of fee-based leakage at the institutional level. To the median, the roadmap looks like a ladder. To the elite, it is a high-speed elevator built on RSU vesting and tax-shielded corporate structures. The data reveals a caste system where the mechanics of entry are hidden. If you don't control the leakage, the system ensures you never arrive. To bridge this gap, transition from a laborer to an architect of velocity. The elite playbook begins with aggressive and total cost elimination. Every 100 basis points of fee leakage is a tax on your future. Swap active funds for institutional index ETFs with zero expense ratios. Optimize for tax alpha. Rebalancing is a liability. Automate tax loss harvesting to neutralize capital gains exposure and maintain compounding momentum for the long term. Shift from nominal growth to purchasing power protection. Stop measuring success in green candles. Measure it in inflation-adjusted resilience across your entire portfolio. For technology professionals, RSU vesting is your primary wealth engine. Treat these units as high-beta instruments requiring a systematic and disciplined diversification schedule. Liquidating shares on vesting prevents concentration risk. Reallocate immediately into broad market equity clusters to capture the structural beta of the global economic system. The median investor's failure is timing. The elite's success is structure. Build a portfolio that survives zero liquidity environments by maintaining strategic, high-yield cash reserves. Apply a core satellite allocation. 80% in broad, low-cost indices. 20% in high-conviction growth plays triggered by shifts in the Baltic Dry Index. Monitor the hurdle rate. If the risk-free rate is 5%, your equity risk premium must justify the volatility. If not, pivot capital toward fixed income. In higher-for-longer regimes, preservation is the new growth. Focus on high-margin firms with low debt-to-equity. These survivors are immune to systemic wealth erosion. The playbook demands the elimination of intermediation friction. Use direct brokers to minimize bid-ask spreads and capture the full value of every single trade. Reject the 60-40 myth. In inflationary cycles, bonds and stocks correlate positively. Move toward real assets to decouple your risk from the median crowd. Track your velocity. If your net worth isn't doubling every 7 years, structural leakage is too high. Audit your expense ratios and tax drag immediately. Wealth is a byproduct of mathematical discipline, not market wins. The elite don't gamble on direction. They position themselves to profit from systemic volatility. This roadmap is cold, mechanical, and predictable. Those who follow the math reach $1 million decades before their median peers ever see the finish. The realization is this: the system was never designed for the median to win. It is a harvesting machine extracting from the distracted for the disciplined. $1 million at age 40 is not luck. It is the output of an optimized algorithm of cost suppression and institutional-grade tax shielding. If you rely on the same intermediaries as the masses, you share their terminal fate. Stagnation is the default destination for those lacking financial structure. The gap between the top decile and the median is an effort. It is a gap of access to the cold world of capital velocity models. Your bank account is a scoreboard of how well you managed systemic friction. If numbers aren't moving, the friction is winning the math battle. Wealth is the residue of returns the government and clearinghouses failed to capture. Maximize that residual amount through superior and disciplined portfolio architecture. Understanding the timeline is only the first layer. The true challenge lies in the specific mechanisms for surviving upcoming global liquidity cycle shifts and contractions. As interest rates redefine the cost of capital, certain asset classes move from speculative bubbles into sustainable, high-yield territory for serious, long-term wealth holders. The transition toward green capital and reshoring creates unique arbitrage opportunities for those who understand macro supply chain movements and the Baltic Dry Index. The movement of $4.5 trillion annually into infrastructure creates a predictable liquidity flow that astute observers can front-run with mechanical precision. Knowing where money goes is useless if you don't understand the inner workings of the vehicles that carry it through market volatility safely and efficiently. We have mapped the timelines. We have identified the milestones. Now, we must examine the specific high-yield engines that fuel the final leg of wealth. The next step in your strategy isn't more saving. It is the mastery of income-generating equity clusters that thrive when traditional growth and expansion stall. Next, we decompose the specific ETF structures that institutional desks are using to hedge against the decay of the traditional, debt-heavy currency system. The transition from growth to income is the final piece of the terminal wealth puzzle. To see the mechanics of that shift, watch this next.